Sword. Okay.
Hey, welcome to Crit Couch. This is Soul Blazer. Getting this started is really weird because doing sync checks are strange when there's no way to sync check.
And he's Michael.
And he's Skylar. And we're doing Soul Blazer, where wise men tell a tale late at night of a great king destroyed by the temptation of evil. And I need to start the timer.
Wise men.
The Frial Empire, as it was called in those days, was ruled by a powerful man, Skylar, King Magrid. It seems most people thought the king was a fair and kind ruler. There were some, however, who felt the king himself was ruled by greed. One day, the king happened to overhear two guards talking about a man named Dr. Leo. Now, Dr. Leo was considered by all to be a great inventor and a genius.
He totally helped me get it back up.
The king stayed up many nights, so it works, wondering how he could use this great inventor to make him even more wealthy. All of a sudden, the king had an idea, a little blue pill. He ordered his guards to capture Dr. Leo and bring him to the castle at once. Soon, Dr. Leo was brought to the castle.
That worked out,
yeah. Convenient exposition.
Well...
I needed a long time to read that. The king confined him in a small room and ordered him to invent a machine that would summon the king of evil, Death Toll. That's a great idea. And Dr. Leo finally completed the machine. The king instantly called upon Death Toll, hoping they might strike a deal. His name is Death Toll.
Fucking came up with that on his own.
After many days, the deal was complete. The king would bring Death Toll all living creatures, and in return, Death Toll would give him a gold piece for each. Where would he spend it? One by one, all living creatures began to disappear. I don't think King Magrid's very smart, Skylar. Because soon the world was completely empty. And two people were watching this catastrophe. The Master and you, his follower. We're just hanging out. Wow, what kind of jerks. The king was very foolish to be tempted by evil. However, I will give him another chance. You must go down to Earth and revive the world, the Master said. On a ray of light, you descended to Earth. A warrior sent to revive the living and punish evil. A Soul Blazer.
You seemed way more excited about that than I think. Hold on, are you like an angel?
Basically.
Okay. The first half of that I wasn't paying attention because the wise men tell tales. I just had this thing of like two old guys. They're like, it's time for bed. Will you tell me the story this time, Thomas? Yes, I will, Frank. I don't know.
All right, so we get to name our little angel friend. A voice came from above. My follower, since you will be able to speak with all living things, you should have a name. Please choose a name for yourself. This can only end well. All right, this is how we're doing it.
D. W.
Okay.
O.
Okay.
M. P.
Edwomp. Okay. Edwomp. All right. Okay. It's not the worst name we've come up with. Edwomp. What an interesting name. The Master is not remotely impressed. He's like, this is who I'm sending to save the world.
I have a question.
He named himself Edwomp. What's up?
Like, if you were just hanging up in heaven with the Master or whatever, so you watched all that shit happen, didn't intervene at any given point.
No.
And he didn't know your name?
I guess if it's just you and him, why do you, like, who else is he going to talk to?
Yeah, I guess
you don't need a name because you're just like, it's the Master and like,
yeah,
whatever this teenage boy is hanging out with the Master.
I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds all right. So this is Soul Blazer. We resurrect the world. This is a really cool game as far as action RPGs go. So the whole kind of conceit of it is like this little like red, this little red glowy dude over here, or that thing. That's a monster lair.
It's a very colorful palette.
And you have to defeat all of the monsters that come out of a lair. And then you can release something. And sometimes it opens up pieces of the world. Sometimes it releases people back in town.
It's Sword of Life. Every time you hit somebody, they come back to life.
That is the most useful sword. So this is like the most basic little enemy that we have here. And so we'll just...
You just stick your sword out.
Yeah, that's not something that like you technically know right off the bat unless you read the manual, because this was an era when games still came with manuals. But
music is so charming.
Oh yeah, it's very. I mean, Enix was pretty super cool back in the day, like with some of its weird experimental
stuff. Is that the
stuff.
Master?
No, that is. I used to live up in the sky just like you. Now I am living on Earth, away from the master.
Then why didn't you get taken to death toll?
Well, he did. That's why he was trapped in that thing. Like, basically, death toll strangely sealed all of these people inside little monster lairs instead of just... Like, he made them releasable. So, death toll is not too much smarter than King Magritte, I think is what it kind of boils down to. All the creatures that have been captured by death toll are sealed away in these monster lairs. Just as you have set me free, you must free everyone. Even the release of a small tree or creature. They will aid you in your quest. Here, take this. Edwomp received the Flame Ball magic. Now I will join you. I am a magician, so I use all types of magic. I will use my skill to help you. Remember this. I need gem. I have to pay this motherfucker to cast fireballs. When you set me free, the monsters left some small spheres of gold. This is what a gem looks like. Alright, let's work together to revive the world. We must go to the Grass Valley Shrine. And
What?
so, yeah,
What?
so that's...
That's him?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay. I
So...
thought you were trying to, like, hit it.
Yeah,
first.
no. So the weird thing about the little, like, floaty ball is, like, that's where my source of magic comes from. So wherever that is sitting, when I fire off magic, it comes from that orb.
Oh. That's a... Huh.
So,
there's almost like a timing element.
yeah, which actually can work to your advantage because it keeps you out of direct line of fire sometimes. It can just be a little weird.
Mm.
So here we are. We're in Grass Valley, which is quite...
Aptly fucking named.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of grass, and it's really more on, like, a mountainside. But
dancing flower down there.
So, one of the interesting things about this game is it was made by Quintet, and Quintet made some of my favorite Super Nintendo games, and this is actually part of a series, like a trilogy. It's an unofficial trilogy that was referred to as like the Heaven and Earth trilogy, but it's all about all of their kind of philosophy in most of their games is this whole like heaven and earth balance and resurrection of the world, and like that actually ActRage that you and I were talking about a second ago, same development team.
Which we will play with.
Yeah. Edwomp heard a small voice. There are many creatures being held in the underground castle. This flower is talking to me.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, just little, hey.
Hey man, there's a lot of pudding over here.
Wow, like, back referencing the pudding already. Well, that's the thing now. The pudding! Alright, so come in here and just,
I'm so sorry. Are these like trolls? What are they? Sure. Trolls.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're hardly like the weirdest enemy that we're gonna run across, even in this dungeon.
They're pretty punk rock, I gotta say.
I mean, yeah, they kind of fit into like the generic, like...
Man, they do not stand a fucking chance.
No, but I mean, you know, an introductory enemy really shouldn't.
Wow, I like this. Just hold my sword out and run into it.
Yeah, like... you know, again, Death Toll, I feel like if these are Death Toll's minions, maybe Magritte kind of deserved what he got for his stupid dealings, because Death Toll isn't exactly a genius.
Magritte is the Raccoon City of...
So, it's kind of hilarious, like, how much you...
Holy shit!
Yeah, like, I just built a damn house.
I was taking a sip of water and then...
Just, like, house. So...
That caught me by surprise.
So every time you release something, you'll pop back into town, and it'll release that. And since we're right here, we'll just go take a look. It also gives you a little, like, bar of
Flower
health back.
impressed with you?
I don't know. It's a flower, like...
Well, yeah,
What's
but
up,
he's
man?
a dancing flower.
Nah, see, he just says the exact same thing, because he's a flower. Like... How much of the world have you seen, flower, in your pot, sitting here in Grass Valley?
There's a lot of fucking monsters in there.
How do you know? You're a flat... Like, where... Did, like, one of these villagers just carry him inside?
Why?
So this, my husband used to be the village chief. I guess she wouldn't have my voice. One day, he suddenly disappeared along with the other villagers. I feel so lonely. How about being one of my children?
What? Yeah, say yes.
Yes. Really? I will call you Edwomp from now on.
Just fucking came up with that on your own,
Yeah,
did you?
yeah. I guess I just look like an Edwomp. Use the second floor as your own room. Oh, sweet. I get my whole room to myself. With a chair that talks.
I liked when he sat on me. Nothing about, you know what? Leave this fucking house. Just burn it on your way out.
Like this chair has seen things, man.
Hey, you wanna sit on me?
I liked it. I liked it when the chief sat on me.
You can sit on me too. There's still an impression on me.
Yeah, he's made of wood. Like, how's there an impression?
There's still a stain on me.
Oh man, I'll get out of here. I need to go kill some monsters.
You know, that sounds a lot worse. But I was just thinking, you know, when you like sit on wood or leather too long, it eventually.
Oh, you get wait, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
No, it like rubs it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I wasn't talking about.
Just right out the gate, dude.
We'll edit that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We'll edit that out.
So here's our little pineapple. Oh my god.
We're a serious game
Here's
discussion.
our little pineapple.
Yeah,
friends.
wait, what? We went from trolls to pineapple creatures.
That's what I said. Like, you know, this isn't even like the weirdest.
I like how they wait. Can you like let him move around for a second? Oh,
we'll see more.
Okay.
Trust me. So,
okay.
Medical herb.
So sometimes when
What's up?
oh, it kind of looks like him, like the thing you killed
Oh.
to get it.
So sometimes when we were about to ask.
Oh, when you step on the things, it changes the level here, and then sometimes it.
Yeah. So there'll sometimes. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that'll happen in that vein. Oh, I guess in terms of
pathing is kind of weird.
Well, so there's actually something really interesting about their pathing. They move 2 squares at a time whenever they move. See? 1, 2. Yeah. So what's interesting about that from a kind of movement and manipulation perspective is if you pay attention and see that they move 2 squares at a time, is obviously I have not played this game ever before because I know that about them. You can know where essentially they're likely to stop in a movement cycle, unless you keep kind of triggering the movement. Okay, and this is where we're gonna find out. I think I have this set at capturing 60 frames per second. I should, because if I don't, this might look like nothing on the video capture because this fairy blinks so fast that if you have it video capped to catch 30 frames and you start it on the wrong frame, she'll either look purely solid or she'll look invisible, and it looks like you're just talking to a diamond.
I'm a built-in strobe light.
Yeah, that was a really interesting thing to find out.
Oh, so she can warp you back to 10.
Yeah, and some of them will get, some of those fairies will give you. There's not that many of them, oddly enough, so it's kind of a weird gimmick. But some of them will give you experience. Some of them will just tell you something. There's one that gives you an item, I think, later.
Okay, cool. Adventures of Edward. That water, wow! When I just looked at it. Holy crap.
Is it giving you a little,
yeah,
a little like visual mess up?
Holy crap! Yeah, because it almost like I felt like it was when you were walking on that bridge.
Oh, when I'm walking kind of with the...
Oh, it does like change pace when you...
Well, so that's... It doesn't. That's it's a visual trick because it's...
I've simply gone insane.
No, I mean, it's an optical illusion. Mm-hmm. It's that when you move with something that's moving with you, it changes the way its pacing looks, you know? Like, it's like... If 2 cars are going the same rate, the car right next to you doesn't look like it's moving.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the same principle at work. Now there might be some visual update weirdness because it's it's an old video game. Okay, so that's not the fireball button.
Can you kill those things?
I don't have the fireball equipped. Yep.
Flame ball.
Yeah, so that's
cool.
Yeah. So
I like that sound effect too. So it'll shoot whichever way you're facing.
Yeah, so the fireball shoots which way you're facing, but it shoots using the little magician dude as an origin point.
That's cool because he doesn't seem to work on the same axis as like the monsters and stuff.
Yeah, so kids, like if you want to know like why
kids,
if you want to know why math might actually matter in a practical perspective, the way that little orb is floating around me, that's just a circle. So there's an equation going on in this game that uses the math of like an XY circle equation. Like somebody has to say, all right, I want it to be a circle of this radius, and it's going to have this as the origin point, and that's how that works. So, like, there is practical application for math outside of your teacher annoying you.
What was, I had a coworker show me something recently. It was an eigenpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he was just like, yeah, this is the math I'm working on, and I read 3 words, and it just said, find the eigen, and I was like, no, this isn't for me. It's like,
okay, so this is an important bit, too. Like, I hear there's a man in the mill who runs an elevator in the underground castle. So, obviously, we need to find...
Thank you, knowledgeable flower.
Yes.
Why can't you
yes.
talk to plants?
Because I'm an angel, and angels get to do that.
I realized that was a silly question.
Yeah, right. So, next time on Crit Catch, we're going to find out what's across this conveyor.
It's moving so fast.
Is it?
It's like an airport runway. You just like,